What's good, my lovelies? Lovely Soul Empress here, coming to do an impromptu. Okay, I wasn't gonna come on tonight. I actually was getting ready tomorrow for my private ritual and my clients, and Spirit said I had to come on. So let me just make sure my volume is up. So your guess is as good as mine. Okay, I know that Spirit wants to talk about the Taurus full moon eclipse, and we will be discussing that. But right before I get into that, I just want to say one thing, okay? For those of you that know me personally, you know I love a good piece of spiritual jewelry, okay? And on my travels on TikTok, I found the most amazing jeweler. I feel like jeweler is an understatement. Okay, I feel like she is definitely an artisan. Okay, so she specializes in spiritual pieces. Okay, her name is Ascension Adornments by Aja, and just look at this piece, guys. Like, seriously, look at this piece. Look at the detail in that. Absolutely magnificent, stunning. Okay, so I just wanted to give her a shout out. I mean, this is just beautiful, very heavy piece. I just absolutely adore it. Okay, check her out, guys. Okay, so Ascension Adornments by Aja, miraculous pieces. I mean, just blown away. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. We're going to be seeing what Spirit wants to tell us. I'm doing this as a collective, okay? And we're going to take a look at what is coming in. Okay, we're going to start with this deck here. Spirit, can you show me what you would like the collective to know on this eve of this eclipse, this lunar eclipse in Taurus, full moon in Scorpio? If you could show me. And this is the beaver blood moon. Okay, so we have clear here coming out crossed. This is a season for purging. Okay, first off, we're in Scorpio season. Full moon is always talking about releasing. North node is in Taurus, okay? And Uranus is there too. Uranus, I believe, is at 16 degrees. Now you've got the South node sitting in Scorpio, asking you, what is it that you value in your life? What is it that you're trying to achieve? And then it's asking you, and what are you willing to let die or let go of it to achieve that? Okay, what's good, Vida love? All right, so there's some clearing. This is a purge season. I feel like Libra season was all about, what relationships were working for us, or what segments of the relationships were working for us, and what needed to be purged, or seeing what needed to be reinvented. Okay, and this season is about releasing those things. Okay, some of them, they could have been external, but they showed us triggers that were internal. So as above, so below. Like if you had an issue with somebody, that same problem could have been somewhere internally, but shaped in a different way. And that's what this season has been about. Okay, so you got held here, and it says, may you feel the ocean's caress. Okay, I feel like this is being in your feminine, whether you're masculine or feminine. Okay, deep waters of emotion, healing energy. Okay, this is also the desire. Okay, because I feel like a lot of people, regardless of whether they're in a relationship or not, this whole, since coronavirus came in, what's good, Tamila, has felt like a clearing and then a rebuild, right? And there's been so much work towards the rebuild that we may not necessarily feel, what's good, cheerfully sweet, we may not necessarily feel like we have been pouring into ourselves or like other people have, right? But you got belonging here as well. And it says, may you welcome yourself home. Okay, this is about, in that building of oneself, finding your strength, your true power. This usually comes through shadow, okay? Having to face some fears, face triggers, like I said, right? And this may be wanting to feel like that coming home, okay? Family, the holidays are coming, but it also could be a craving of more tender energy, right? Being able to pour into oneself, to feel poured into. Okay, at the bottom of the deck is reflect. Okay, may you discern and distill. And this has been, I mean, nothing but discernment. Okay, and I feel like that's gonna be highlighted for the rest of the year. Okay, accepting people as they show up. Okay, not falling in love with the potential. Okay, seeing things as they are, not as we want them to be. This is major focus right now. Okay, because you can't build a solid foundation if you're looking at things from a convoluted perspective. Let's say that. All right, so we're going to get another deck. All right, actually, let me get the Astros because I want to see what's the challenges around us right now. Let's take a look at that. Tomorrow morning, for those of you that booked the ritual, you will be getting your links in the morning. Spirit, can you show me what this collective can expect? Okay, what is happening right now around them? What are the things that need to be cleared away? What do you want them to concentrate on this eclipse? Okay, I know that right now, if you are not experienced in manifesting in heavy energy, you know, either just manifest clearing and balance or leave it to the professionals, okay? Because this, you got to know what you're doing. Okay, so this is about releasing, and this is about, you know, cleansing, coming into balance, right? Full moons already are about what we're letting go of, what we're willing to let go of. And this has been a major culmination of energy that is coming into effect right now, okay? So you got debilitated. This is the discomfort that we go through when we have to face things that we've never done before. A lot of us are entering new seasons, okay? New reasons. Spirit said, fourth house, the house of home. Your home life could look very different. Some of you could be purchasing homes. Some of you could be moving. This is also about finding what resonates about home. I just got very hot. Spirit just entered the building. There's a masculine. This is also about like staking out your power, your boundaries. Right? You also have conjunction, alliance, the people you can work with, the people you've had to release. Birds of a feather flock together. You may feel like it's lonely right now, but that's keep rising to the top. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Right? So Spirit's saying like the higher you go, like the higher you go, sometimes there's not people there to cheer you on. This may be the leg of the journey. Okay, fifth house, passion. And then under that is progression's journey. And I feel like, you know, what we've been doing for like, since like 2020 has been finding out, you know, what things no longer resonate with us. And now it's about what we're getting ready, you know, 2023, that's the 7, it's a divine, right? We're supposed to be going towards the journey of exploring what we're passionate about, no longer focusing on what we need to get rid of, but now creating the life that we want. Okay, so I'm feeling that. Spirit, is there anything else in this deck before you want me to move on? You got solar calm, right? So there's a little I was telling one of my clients that I feel very excited energy, but at the same time, it's like I can't see what's on the other side. And it's so that we can be sure, that what we're calling in or what we've been asking for is really what we want. Because I feel like we're on the precipice of getting a lot of the things that we've requested, although they may come in a different way than we imagined them to be. Last shuffle, Spirit. You also got Venus, beloved. I believe it went into a trine today with Mercury and Uranus, quite possibly, I think was the third planet. Right? So there, this is like what resonates, what makes you feel love, what makes you want to love. Where do you feel the love, right? The midheaven, the pinnacle. Okay, so I feel like this is finally like when you think of the climb towards something. I feel like what we're at is the pinnacle of the resistance. And on the other side of this eclipse, it starts to soften. Okay, feeling softening. Although it may feel radical. Okay, so expect that the rest of November may have some still surprises. But then after that, you start to feel a softening. Okay, so let's get into this love oracle. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know from that deck. Spirit, what else would you like us to know, please? So we're closing out cycles. You got coffin out here. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition, right? And I said to you, like, this season, the last couple of years has really been us exploring things that maybe we hid from ourselves, deep emotions. Okay, but to bring in this new thing, we have to be willing to let go of some things from the past. You also have here date, okay, meeting someone new, dating, get back out there, plan, set a date. And this may be the season that you're getting ready to go into. For some of you, you've just let go and it may be premature and Spirit's telling you to take a breath. Exhale. Right? You also have the palm tree here, right? Stability, security, permanence, growth, embrace, endurance, flexibility. For those of you that ended a relationship recently, okay, make sure that you're not entering another situation out of reflex, like needing to have someone there or feeling the need of like the void. Okay, because I feel like there's something to the expansion that comes through, you had that discomfort card, right? So it's not that we should feel bad right now, but we should feel a little push-pull tension. This is where you find out things about yourself that you hadn't explored. Right? So if we, and this is something, okay, so your North Node represents, what you need to be in this lifetime to achieve your soul's purpose. And your South Node is what you already did or achieved or what you need to release from the last lifetime. So in other words, when you're too comfortable, when things is too easy, too simple, it's not challenging, you're in your South Node energy. Right? So not to say that we should feel tension, but we should feel inspired. They shouldn't be ho-hum, especially in a relationship. Yes, there's no ebbs and flows. But if it's not challenging you, then, it's in the South Node, right? So here you have Axe at the bottom of the deck, and it says breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. right? So these could have been the triggers that came up, right? When you were releasing people, places, and things. And you may have realized that those maybe connections that weren't serving you were really symbolic of triggers that were laying within you dormant, of things that you hadn't like dealt with. But I feel like as we cut away our triggers, or once we learn, certain, it's like, Superman, right? You know it's kryptonite. You know, okay, so that's the kryptonite. I need not deal or involve myself. I need to cut that away, right? Once you start naming the triggers, they don't have the same power over you. Right? Keys on a ring, many options, decision, unconventional, string along, one night stand, right? And some of you have been single for a little bit. You've gone through like taking your power back and not feeling like you have to be connected, like learning how to date without the codependency, Spirit said, right? So some of you have been doing that, but now you're ready to like explore something more. It may be a little scary, especially if this is the first time you're going to allow your emotions to become engaged in a long time. Okay, because like if you did some shadow work in that area, you might have been like, I'm just going to kick it by myself for a little bit, right? Look, and then the runner was out here crossed, right? Was about to say, I'm going to kick it by myself for a little bit. And then you got the runner in codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego, right? And you could have ran into a lot of people that fit this bill. Right? But I feel like, as above, so below. So what ends up happening is that while we are trying to connect to somebody who is a runner, that in the end, and I could speak of this in personal experience, this happened to me when I was in my 20s, you may have been chasing someone in your past, recent past, right? But then when you stopped chasing and you realized how much you were overgiving, it like almost puts that same fear in you. Because now you don't want to experience that again. Right? So like subconsciously you end up in your wanting to be emotionally detached and not as invested, you kind of end up exhibiting some of those traits. Okay? So we're gonna, do you want me to get in another deck? We'll wait on that. Okay. All right. So we're going to jump into the tarot. We're going to take a look at what Spirit wants us to know. Let me get this deck here. We've been doing a lot of work over the last few years on ourselves, partially because of coronavirus. We were kind of tossed into this season of introspection, whether you wanted to or not, right? And I feel like we've been emerging for quite some time, but now it's like the rebirth is really upon us. Okay, Spirit, what does collective need to know? What should we be concentrating on? What do we need to be looking at? What do we need to know? Show us, please. Show me the situation, please. Show me the situation, please. show me what is falling away. No, stop. Show me what's coming in for the collective. Show me what's coming in, please. Show me what is falling away. What is falling away? That's very interesting. Spirit, show me what is it that the collective cannot see at this time. Can you show me what is the truth of the matter, please? What is the truth of the matter for the collective on this eve of the Taurus full moon lunar eclipse, please? What is the truth of the matter? Truth above all else. And what is the most likely outcome, please? What is the most likely outcome for the collective? Thank you. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. There's definitely a seed, okay? I feel like there's been seeds that you have planted. Okay, they're also showing me like leaving a trail. So it kind of feels like you were a little afraid of something. Something that you had never tried before, or something that was a new experience. It feels like some of the old habits, you didn't want to completely release them, you know. And it's funny because, you know, I want to give you like a good example. And I've used this example before because it's probably the best one that I could give in my own life, you know. I grew up in a tough neighborhood, and I end up fighting a lot. Okay, so, you know, as I matured, these were skills that I no longer needed. For instance, like I learned how to communicate better. I learned how to, you know, be in control of my emotions and things like that, right? But when you're releasing those things that protected you, even if they were, you know, a little toxic, right? They protected you in many ways and many times, right? Because we only repeat things that have some type of payoff, right? So this gives me the feeling of like, you know, what's the saying? Fuck around and find out, right? It's like you wanted to keep a little fuck around and find out. Like you wanted to leave your seeds of, you know, I'm tough. I've gone through a lot of things. I can stand up for myself. But remember, you had those cards about discomfort and what was the other one? Discomfort, the belonging and held, right? So wanting something else, but being used, conditioned to something. So even though you're walking into like something totally brand new, there's kind of like this holding on of the security blanket, even of, you know, those slightly toxic traits, because they've been tried and true, right? They've been tried and true, right? So this is like, you know, not wanting to date and wanting to receive love. Here goes another example. But not wanting to trust in it completely because of situations that happened before. So you trust only yourself, right? So it's like you're going to put your toe in the water, but you don't necessarily believe. It's like that kind of frequency, right? So you got the 10 of Earth here. This is the situation. This is the glow up, right? So this is what all the excitement is about, right? This is the feeling that shit is about to change, right? Look, for some of you, this is babies, this is family, this is birthing new self, this is birthing businesses, opportunities, things that you manifested, right? And I feel like, you know, you've been with your nose to the grindstone for a minute. It has not been easy. It could have felt like labor pains, Spirit said. And remember, I was saying about how it's been kind of like a challenging season. And although we may not recognize it, like things are getting ready to soften. And you have here the Ten of Pentacles with the Tower and the Six of Swords. So all of a sudden, all of the work that you've done is like a breakthrough is coming, but it comes in the form of surprise, shock and awe. Spirit said, okay, with the Six of Swords, moves you immediately to calmer waters. Now, for some of yous, this is some abrupt news that makes it easy to sever something that was holding you back. For others of yous, it's like a breakthrough. Like, let's say you have a small business and you've been at this for a couple of years, you know, but you haven't had the glow up, right? And you make like a promotion, or it goes viral or something like that, right? Like all of a sudden, overnight, what you've been working on just takes off. Or there's a breakthrough or some opportunity that's given to you. I mean, the Ten of Pentacles with the Tower and the Six of Swords, it moves you to calmer waters instantly. At the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is also like your discernment. This is like the sharp decisions you've been making all this time. Nose to the grindstone, male or female. Okay. I feel like there could be a younger person who has shown interest, okay? Could be a Knight of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, but doesn't necessarily mean. Okay, this could be like lightly dating or somebody, you know, asking you out, okay? Four of Pentacles, you might have been holding back from these opportunities. Okay, maybe you were concentrating on something you were trying to birth here with this this Eight of Swords. It's like you've been overthinking something. Okay, now for some of yous, you've been wanting to date, but you know, you haven't gotten any bites. I feel like it's a frequency. It's the frequency. Okay, it's like the frequency of like, so it's like, you know, saying, you ever been on a date with somebody and like 5 minutes into the date, they're talking about their ex, and you ask them a question and then they answer, you know, about also the ex, what they used to do or whatever. So I'm not saying that you're physically doing that. What I'm saying is that your frequency is doing that. Like you're not, you know, maybe the frequency that you're putting out right now doesn't scream if available. Okay, you have the Queen of Fire here in the position of what's coming in. You're about to be the Phoenix Rising. It's so strange because yesterday, you see the black cat? Yesterday I went out to check the mail. And out of nowhere, black cat came up to me and I was like, hi, baby. And she came and threw herself right at my feet. Okay, and I gave her a quick little pet and then she was on her way. But she definitely wanted me to know that she was visiting. Okay, so let's see what this Queen of Wands has to say. This is the Phoenix Rising. This is feeling very passionate. This is the rebirth. Show me, Spirit. What is this Queen of Wands doing here? With the Two of Wands, you made a decision about something and you're stepping into it chest out, okay? With the Wheel. Is my turn? Is my turn? Right? Eight of Cups. I feel like you've walked away from some shit too. With the Eight of Wands. There's somebody that's been trying to communicate with you. I'm hearing, come back to me. I really wanna eat you. and you talk to me, right? So I don't know the words, but I feel like somebody wants to get your attention. Could be someone old and someone new. Okay, because I feel like as you're walking away, it feels like you're being called in two different directions. Okay, so also remember, when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, the old life will test you. The old life will test you. Okay, so like if you manifest a whole new beginning for yourself and you've cut off certain people, best believe that right before they give you that, they're gonna dangle that thing that you were so comfortable, South Node, right? You were so comfortable with, to see if you really ready to let that shit go. Hey, babes. Okay, so I feel like that's what Spirit is talking about here. Like, there's a minor test here about looking back. You did have that reflection, right? About looking back. And not everything needs to be left behind, but there are things, okay? So like, you know, let's say you're in a relationship with somebody and you've been in a relationship with somebody. These last 2 years could have been about purging things that weren't working in the relationship and birthing a new connection within it. Because it's not always easy to grow in the same direction. So this is like, you know, for those of you in relationships, it's about refinement, right? It's also about individuality and the harmony of the unit and learning that. Okay, so in the position, this is going to be the interesting part right here. In the position of what's falling away, you have the awakening, the sun, and the magician, all major arcana. So this is like in a commercial when they say brought to you by, this would be brought to you by Spirit. Okay, because you got cracked open with this awakening. Okay, that's definitely the hangman, but this is more like by choice. Right, with the sun, this gave you a vision, you know, it was illumination of the things you couldn't see. It also, you know, the sun burns away that which is impure. I also feel like you saw the parts of other people that, you know, maybe you saw as toxic behavior, and now you're starting to realize that they were ego and flaws. But I feel like, as I said in the earlier part, every time we're triggered or we recognize something, we have to understand that if we were attracted to that, or if that was attracted to us, that somehow, some way, there was a magnetic exchange of energy. And so that reflection might have been in you too. Remember when I was saying about the runner and the chaser, and how sometimes we end up switching roles. And I have a whole other download about that. Give me 1 second. Let me just finish this. And the magician, right? And this is the power to manifest or to change our direction. Okay, so before I clarify these, I'm gonna quickly give you the download. I'm sure that a lot of you have seen what's been going on with the Kanye, with Kyrie, with all of the things, okay? And I had did a reading like a month ago, maybe a few weeks back, and I was saying that the spiritual movement is being hijacked right now. And I'm going to reiterate that very quickly right here. Okay, I want you to understand. It is not that there are not chosen people, right? I fully agree that there are chosen people and that we have signed up in this lifetime to participate in this experience. But this is what Spirit got to say about that. If in this lifetime you are someone who is melanated and you came through this lifetime to be here as the change maker and the change breaker, remember the as above, so below. Okay? This means that in some other lifetime, you were in a different position, right? So you could have been in this lifetime, you could be the change maker. In the last lifetime, in the last lifetime, you could have been an oppressor, right? You could have been a victim in one lifetime, and you could have been an abuser. Okay, you could be. So this thing about the earth is school, babes. Earth is school. What's good, Jennifer LaRoe? So, you know, if we're spiritual, we have to understand that this is only a vessel. This is not promised to us. The only thing that's true is your actual energy. That doesn't die. But you're here to learn the experiences of every perspective. So to think that one group is it's just it's incorrect. Okay, it's incorrect. And I feel like Spirit has one more point. Go ahead, Spirit, give it back to me. The Akashic Record's been open since October 25th when we had the solar eclipse. This means that you could do a meditation and ask your higher self, what were you in other lifetimes? Some of it was great and some of it was horrible. Okay? Just keep that in mind, because in this journey, we're supposed to be looking at ascending to a higher, all-knowing, agape, higher self-love. And if we are allowing people to divide the spiritual community, it's just not going to work. It's propaganda, and it is also to take us off, okay? Because we had 2 years of being in home and learning the truth about ourselves. Don't get bamboozled in the last stretch, okay? So this awakening, and you know, I feel like Spirit's reminding me here about this with the awakening in the sun. You know, we need the illumination right now. We need the illumination right now, okay? Awakening, Spirit. Why is this awakening here for the collective? Okay, awakening from the toxic poisons that we've given to ourselves. This could be in the forms of drugs, right? But this is also like, you know, when you recognize that a relationship has lived out its purpose, and you stay there maybe out of fear or of change or the codependency or whatever, right? This is like acknowledging the things that are making us ill, okay? And also within us, right? Because I'm going to keep saying that. Every time somebody triggers you and you see something that, you know, they've shown you through their behavior, understand that something was pulling that to you, or that you have some aspect within yourself. And if you miss the opportunity to do that leg of the work, right, then what ends up happening is you left the assignment incomplete, okay? Can I ask you, why do people Believe the world is flat. Oh, that's, let me tell you, I would love to get into that topic, but I want to stay on this. I want to stay on this, and I'm going to do that one another day, okay? But with the sun here, this is the illumination, all right? And the Knight of Swords, and the courage to speak one's truth, stand in one's power, right? I was saying that. This is also about like living out loud, okay? And the Nine of Swords, this is even giving voice. You know, sometimes when we're afraid of change, we'll be silent. We won't tell other people that we're afraid, right? That's like the inability to be vulnerable. But here it is. It feels like you're even allowing that. And that's an important thing. That's part of the growth. Okay, Four of Pentacles. Admitting that maybe you've been holding back from some of the things that you really wanted to out of fear. Right? That part ain't nobody else. That's decisions we made. Right? With the Magician, why is this Magician here? This feels like courage. Like deciding I'm going to go after things come what may. What is this Magician with the Temperance? Okay, there could have been things about you waiting for divine timing. Okay, or you having to think that all the things had to be in order and all the things and have everything lined up, right? But Spirit was saying no, there were situations that you had to go through, and part of it was the not knowing. Like that was an overcoming of fear. You see with the Temperance and her being blindfolded, Two of Swords, that you needed to be able to manifest your way, having the courage to manifest something, to speak something into existence, to say I'm afraid and I'm still going to go after it, and I acknowledge my fear, but my fear doesn't run me. My old life doesn't run me. My old triggers don't run me. I'm still willing to step out on faith and know that I am worthy, that being held and belonging. Right? What's at the bottom of the deck? Seven of Swords. This is the imposter syndrome. Like, I feel like a lot of the time when we are trying to convince ourselves of something, we won't say it out loud. Like, we will silently wish for something. Right? But this Sun and this Knight of Swords, it's like the courage of conviction to even admit, yeah, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I can't see what's the outcome, and I'm going to keep moving in spite of that. Because I believe I'm worthy, because I believe I did the work, because I know that it's my turn. Right? You normally don't speak it until you believe it. I feel like the Seven of Swords is like you recognizing that maybe in the past you didn't really believe it. Right? And the Two of Cups. Right? So it's kind of like wanting somebody to see you as the soulmate, and you see them as the soulmate and experience the soulmate, but always feeling like you had to, get them to pour into you rather than them willing to do it. Like lack. Okay, so I feel like that's like, this is not you faking it till you make it anymore. Like, this is an inner knowing. All right, you have here the Seven of Earth. This is more than halfway. This is you doing that, that gardening, right? What is at the point to be harvested? What didn't make it? What wasn't fruitful? What are you keeping? What are you discarding? What are you preparing for the next cycle. This is learning the parts that you did well and what parts need to be revamped. And the Four of Pentacles and saving for the harder times. And the Emperor, learning to have some reserves for yourself too. And how you become the Emperor. Right? Like maybe you gave your last to somebody else in the past, but now you've learned to save for yourself. That, you know, like when the mask drops in the airplane, you know, save yourself first. Page of Cups is an act of love. An act of love towards self, the Hermit. That's what the reflection gave you. That you don't have to feel guilty, that you don't have to carry all the burdens. Underneath that, right? I feel like you tried to carry the burdens. Not only yours, but other people's, right? But it became too heavy, right? Feel like the death and transformation took place in the Star. It's like being brought back into life. I feel like you didn't even pour into yourself. Spirit did. Spirit did. And I feel like that is kind of like the resuscitating turning point. Okay, something about you recognizing your worth here with the Queen of Pentacles. And the Justice. Like feeling worthy. What's good, Nelson? All right, so you've got here the Ace of Cups. The truth of the matter. Well, hell yeah, that's love, baby. With the Seven of Wands. Self-love at that, okay? Healthy as boundaries. Look at the owl soaring above. Hold on one second. Let me plug in this thing so I can see what you guys are talking about. Sorry, guys. I forgot my tablet was dying. Okay, so like I said, it's like you see the owl. It's like soaring high, like recognizing. I also said the first queen you guys had was the Queen of Swords. It's like a season of discernment, right? And the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. Up here you have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like this is a lot about seeds of abundance, both in love and in money. And in money. Shit. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get the live back because my tablet died. There we go. All right. So that's what I feel. I feel like abundance is coming in from various, okay? I also feel like there's some type of event. The main event and the Lovers, a choice and the Hangman. I feel like there's something, and this could be the holidays. Yeah. So this feels like the holidays. I feel like a lot of yous that have begun some type of new life venture or just awakening, right? You may not have seen a lot of your family in some time. There may be a fear, right? Of how will you be received? This new you, or how will people accept parts of yourself that you decided you will no longer hide? I also feel like when we go home, a lot of times on the holidays, we instantly fall back into the age of trauma. So think about Thanksgiving, right? And think about everybody sitting at the table, you know, basically at an age that something triggered them. And then we wonder why we're all being triggered at the holidays, because we're all in a energy of feeling labeled by those people that have known us before we created who we want to show up as now. And that's a big, uncomfortable thing. This is why a lot of people don't like going home, right? So I feel like, there's seeds here, okay? It feels like with this Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, this is no longer about hiding your religion or your beliefs or your thoughts or playing down to be hospitable, right? And you might find that these people have changed too. And here you are trying to force yourself into a box. And they don't expect you to be that either. Okay? And it's like one of the things that I have been, and I've said this before on this channel, but I feel like it's really coming more and more true now. Authenticity is divine. Like, step into your true self and you'll be so surprised how freeing that shit is. And you'll also find that there were a lot of people that didn't vibe with you because you didn't vibe with you, because you weren't being your true self, right? So some people have that radar of feeling disingenuous energy. Sometimes when we are conforming to what we think other people think of us, we're not being authentic, and people can feel that shit. All right, so you got the Two of Fire here. Two of Fire, Spirit, there's a decision. Two of Wands and the Ace of Wands, right? With the Three of Wands. Okay. I feel like there could have been somebody. Let me get them in order in which they came out. There could have been somebody, whether this was in your childhood, in your adulthood, who could have made you feel like you just had to settle. Maybe this is somebody else in your family who also settled, right? And that maybe passion wouldn't come, and that maybe that chapter is over. It's funny, Tammy, I think you were just talking about that. With the Three of Wands in reverse coming out here, what do I have to look forward to the future? The chapter of passion is over. I need to settle for what I can have. I feel like somebody might have told you that shit. Okay, now you have the Justice card here. Spirit's like, you need to come to some balance here, all right, about what it is you really want. You're only as old as you feel, or you only as limited as what you can envision or what you can imagine. You're only as low as you energetically vibrate on. Like, you're getting to determine, like, this isn't the season for karma. We already went through that. This is the season of you showing up as what you really believe. So do you believe that you're worthy? Do you believe that love is coming? Do you believe that you can be anything you want? Because the limitations now are not coming from others, they're coming from you. Okay? Like, you get to create your own justice, but it's the prison of your mind that is gonna draw, put the limitations, right? You got the Six of Wands, victory, baby. Victory. Right? But only you can decide which cup it is that you truly want. Which cup it is that you're going to go after. Or are you going to let illusion or somebody else tell you what is meant for you? Okay, so let's get a kipper. I feel like this is really about getting rid of what we've been taught is the limits of what we can achieve, of what we can have, of who we are. This is all the retraining. The retraining, guys. Show me, Spirit, what else do they need to know on this eclipse? Now, I have told my personal clients and my friends, you know, it's a good time to write down what you feel are some of the blockages, you know, and some of the limiting beliefs, you know, that you have recognized that have been standing in your way. And write those down and then burn them tomorrow night or tomorrow morning before the sun comes up, right? And release them and ask the divine to help you release some of these things so that you can be prepared for 2023. As you see, I'm not asking for anything, right? I'm not asking for money, and I'm just asking that I get the assistance that I need to clear away any obstacles that are deterring me from the outcome that I have been trying to achieve, and any limiting beliefs that would stand in the way of me achieving it, right? And then I give it to the divine, right? Because this is about releasing. Full moons is about releasing. Spirit, show me. So you have the expectation, right? And then you have poverty, right? So are we getting ready of getting rid of poverty mindset, right? Are the expectations that maybe were programmed into us, right? Unexpected income and main male, right? Unexpected income and main male. Spirit, why is this expectation card here for the collective? With relationships, ain't that some shit? And it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my highest good, and it came out crossed, right? So this is like, you know, male or female. This is like, why do I always get the assholes? Like, why do I keep ending up with the assholes? Or why do I keep ending up with people who always want to take from me, right? But remember what I said about the paradigm, and like some of it lives within you, right? So why do you keep ending up with people who take from you? Because you might feel like if you're not giving, then you have nothing of value to add to that relationship. Someone could have made you feel like that is the way to show, because maybe they didn't know how to show emotion. But either which way, it's about recognizing. And I'm getting another message here about this expectation, giving with the expectation of receiving, right? But this is also realizing that these people were not for your highest good, and that it had something to do with your type. And so if you had a type, fuck boy, fuck girl energy of people who keep coming in and out of your world, right, treating you in a particular way, then it's highlighting that there was a signal that you were sending out that was attracting people who felt like they could take from you, or who felt like, you know, you didn't see your value because you were pouring more into them than into themselves. So how could they value you more when you didn't? Like that kind of shit. Okay, but you have poverty here, which is the poverty mindset. We definitely have to release that. If coronavirus didn't teach you nothing else, I know that the economy's fucked up right now, but if it didn't teach you nothing else, was that, you know, if spirit wants to make a way, and if you, you know, are showing up for yourself, that the money will come, that you will eat, that, you know, you will find a way, right? Partnering with spirit, right? Empathy and peace, that it's the frequency of worry, the frequency of lack. I will not have enough. That brings more of that lack and not having enough. And that this season is supposed to be about our sanity, our happiness. I'm not saying that we should all walk off the job and be like, fuck this place, but you know, fuck this place, right? Like, we got to learn to find ways to support ourselves that make us happy. What is the point of doing this shit if every day you wake up to a soulless fucking, like, that's not what we're supposed to be doing anymore. Now, I'm not saying tomorrow go into your office and quit, but I'm saying, make a new plan, Stan. No need to be coy, Roy. Just set yourself free, right? So Spirit's basically saying you got to make a plan. There's 50 ways, okay? There's 50 ways. What was that song that was Paul Simon? 50 ways to leave your lover, right? Well, some of these jobs are like abusive lovers, right? The pay sucks. The reward sucks, right? Unexpected income. What's good with that, Spirit? Why is that here? Okay, you could have been concentrating on making money, on turning your situation around, and you may be starting to see the fruits of that, but it could have been lonely. Simon and Garfunkel, that's right. You know? It could have been lonely while you were, balls to wall hustling hard. Right? Throwing yourself into something that you wanted to birth, but feeling like, maybe you didn't have the emotional support. Right? Maybe this is the season where you finally want to experience that. But this time from a perspective of knowing your worth. Right? Main male. Right? So main male is coming out with love and self-esteem. What did I just say about experiencing love, but through the perspective of like self-love, right? And I feel like this is the season, like whether you're male or female, right? This is the acknowledgement that people love you by the way you love yourself. So you show people how to value you. And it's discipline that is necessary because there's going to be times with the ebbs and flows, right? But one thing that we can never give up, right, is like our authenticity. That's something that is not only freedom, but it is free, right? It doesn't cost you anything. Now, people may not like your decisions, but you won't lose sleep over knowing that you betrayed yourself. And what's bigger than that? All right, let's get a love and romance. This feels like the season of stepping into authenticity. Spirit, show me. Show me, Spirit. Anything else from this deck last shuffle? Thank you. So you have unrequited love, chemistry, past life relationship, and very soon. Underneath that is playfulness. We're going to take a look. You got unrequited love here. So, I was saying, I'm hot again. I was saying with the, like being in relationships that we knew we outgrew. This is not just love. This is family. This is friends. This is jobs. This is everything. Right? And some of them were like security blankets. Some of them were like security blankets. But with this unrequited love, we have to be able to step out on that and sever things that no longer resonate, right? It's kind of like, it's funny because they give me two images. It's kind of like love it on yourself. But I feel like, and this happened for me through this channel, right? I was going through a lot at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. And it felt like something was ending, something huge that had been with me for a while. But it wasn't so much that it ended. It was that I had been struck with a new love and understanding for myself, for a deepening of my spirituality and my spiritual connection. And that I could no longer be in anything fake, anything half-ass, anything that didn't resonate in my soul, or instantly was unrequited. Like, I don't even want that shit anymore. I only want authenticity. I only want to be who I truly am. And I even told my man that at that time. And I was telling him, like, I'm going to be me. And whoever doesn't like that, whoever has a problem with that, whoever doesn't see me or doesn't feel like I'm welcome there, or like they can accept all of me, I want nothing. And I meant that shit. When I said it, I was sobbing like a child. You know, when they be like, and that's how I was. Because I had to even tell him, like, that includes you. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't for the weak. You know? Because I think we was together like 12, 13 years. That shit ain't for the weak. This is who I am. I know I woke up one day and I was different. And this is who the fuck I am. And this is who I'm going to be. Because authenticity is divine. And I can't breathe in something that expects me to be something other than. And that was a very life-changing moment. That was a very life-changing moment. What's good, Angela? You know? What's good, cousin B, right? These were not easy moments. That's why I'm not telling you that this shit is going to be easy, but I am telling you it's going to be freeing. That's for sure. All right, you got past life relationship here. Remember what I was saying about the Akashic records being open, right? About this Earth school, about us seeing the realities of situations. Felt like something else flipped. Let me take a look. Right? So, you know, a lot of people be like, oh, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. Let me tell you, twin flame ain't for everybody. Because it means you got to go through some shit. Okay? You got to go through some shit with that person. You got to sever that, and then you got to try to heal that shit. All right? And it's not always pretty. Right? That's why some people, they elect like, fuck it, I see you next lifetime. That shit was hard, I'm good, right? That happens because it's hard. Right? You got past life relationship. Right? And the gate is open, crossed. You know, this gate open being crossed. There could have been a lot of yous that, you know, had been saving a seat for somebody. You know, maybe not verbally, but emotionally. Right? But that was keeping you, you know, on the fence. Remember earlier I was saying that some of you was energetically still giving the signal of your person. Right? With the hands of time here. Right? Let me tell you something. If they're your twin flame, whether it's now or another life, you'll see them again. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. right? But you can't stop living the day. And I feel like, you know, for some of y'all, that's the realization. I've waited long enough, or that I wasn't even really waiting. I was using that as a reason to not put my heart out there. You know, but you got to change your heart out here. And true love. This is like getting ready to open yourself to something unknown. And then you have very soon. And playfulness. And this feels like a lighter energy than the season you've been in. And we don't know what forever brings. But we know we have to embrace change, embrace growth, embrace expansion, embrace the happy moments. You got the Empress here, right? This is about like birthing those things. Those things that maybe you thought you had to give a rest, or were not going to come to you, or that season had passed. But to me, the Empress is the strongest of all of the characters in the tarot, because she represents the earth. Because like the magician, she can manifest what she wants, but he needs the 4 tools: the Ace of the Pentacle, the wand, the cup, and the sword. She needs nothing other than love. Right? Even when she doesn't get it from others, she still pours out into the world. And she, you know, in her expression of love, she regenerates herself. So this is that regeneration. This is that transformation. This is like the rebirth of you. King of Pentacles, stable, right? This is the collaboration. 3 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles coming into your power. 6 of Cups, the person I want to be, the person I always knew I would be. The 8 of Wands, the communication with the higher self, and the intuition, the High Priestess. This is you're coming into your sovereignty, guys. You know, I'm all for manifesting money. But I feel like we're finding out that the wealth is, success is, abundance is, the power and the courage to be in your authenticity. To be one's true self without fear is an act of love. All right, that's pretty much what I got for you guys, okay? I'd just like to say thank you to my returning subscribers for coming through and spending a little time with me. And if you're a new viewer and you felt I resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I would just like to say, do remember to be yourself above all other things, because the only true power is the power of self. Okay, so authenticity is divine, guys. I'm wishing y'all light and love and blessings on blessings. Namaste, guys. Bye.